How you organize your time is just as important as how you organize the space in your family childcare environment.
Okay, our bubbles are all gone, so it's time to clean up.
Where's the bubble?
They're right here, honey. Remember, our bubbles were right here, and they're all gone, so we gotta put the tools up first. Look, these bubbles are all gone.
It is essential to provide a schedule that is structured but flexible enough to meet children's needs.
We suggest for them patterns of schedules that we know work, and then we tell them, develop the bond, strike the balance, go with what the kids need. This is a home. You know, the cooks are not rolling your lunch at a certain hour. We get it that sometimes something dynamic is happening and lunch is going to be a little late. Or you have a new group of kids and their rhythm means that they're not ready to take a nap at noon. So we'll adjust their schedule. As long as the families know what's going on and we know what's going on and we're meeting all of the requirements, there's kind of fluidity in a home schedule. Have structure for yourself and for the children so there's anticipated routines. They know what's coming yet, but don't be so rigid that they aren't really experiencing a home provider or a home care.
Well, when we start working on schedules, we start talking about what they need to include in that schedule during the day. Obviously, you've got meal times in there. So for most homes, you have a breakfast, you have a lunch, you may have a snack or two during the day. So there's got to be time allotted for that. You have children that come really early to children who stay really late. One of the things about family childcare is sometimes their schedules are way more flexible than a typical child development center. So they may have to have a schedule that, you know, goes more in excess of 12 hours, depending on what kind of services they're offering. So we want to make sure that they have somewhat of a schedule that takes care of those kids that come really early and also takes care of those kids that stay really late. We talk to them a lot about making sure that they have time in the day where they have very active periods, but also time during the day where they have periods where children can kind of tone it down, you know, a little bit. So they've got to have times to rest, times to eat, times to play, whether it's, you know, it may be a free play or more of centers and things like that where they're choosing their activities. And then there should be a balance of maybe some things that are more teacher directed. You also have to build in time for bathroom and for washing hands. You know, in family childcare, they wash hands all day. They wash hands when they get there. They wash hands before and after meals and before and after they go to the bathroom and things like that. So lots of that they need to just be able to do as the day goes on when they have to do it. But obviously at nap time, you want everybody to go use the bathroom and wash their hands after lunch so they can lay down and they can rest. You also want a good routine where kids can anticipate what's coming next. So good transitions on from transitioning to playing, to cleaning up, to getting ready for a meal, to getting ready for nap time, to getting ready to go outside. When children can anticipate what's coming up and they know kind of what the transition and the routine is, things run a lot smoother because they kind of know what to expect. So scheduling can be a little tricky in family childcare, especially if you've got a really wide range that you have to cover, a range of time you have to cover. At the same time, you talked about planning for different age groups. If you have babies, you have to plan some time in there to change diapers, and that takes time. And what are the other children going to be doing when you're taking child after child and changing their diaper? Are they going to, you know, have enough activities? Are they going to have activities that maybe don't have to be quite as supervised during those times as when you're 100% available for them? What are you going to do when it's lunchtime? Because somebody has to prepare lunch, and you're the only person there, so it has to be you. So what kind of activities are you going to offer during that time so that they know what to do, so that the babies have been either fed or napping on their own schedule and things, and you're able to prepare lunch like you should be able to do. So it's a balancing act all day. The other thing is babies don't sleep on just a normal child care schedule. They don't eat on a normal child care schedule. So what are you going to do in your schedule to allow times for when it's time for, one child to have a bottle? What can you be doing so that the other children can carry on their activities? Where are the babies going to sleep? If they're sleeping and they need some quiet time, and the other children still need to be active and playing because it's not time for their nap time now. So scheduling is a balancing act, and it's tricky, and it has to change all the time. So for one group of children, it may work one way, and then you lose a couple of kids, get a couple of different ages in, you may have to go back and relook at that and rework it so that you can accommodate the changes in your enrollment, the changes in your environment.
It is important to plan ahead and use information about the children and their interests in order to plan activities for your week. As you plan predictable daily routines and activities, remember that you will also need to be flexible. Children's needs don't adhere to a strict time schedule.